Hey guys, in this tutorial we'll learn about contains any and not contains any filters. And again, these are new as well, and they're pretty useful when it comes to searching within a specific column, but sort of like doing a multi-search without creating multiple filters, because sometimes they get out of hand if you have too many here. So let me explain how this works. So say for instance, I'll close this for a second. So we have this column called approved source cages, and somewhat of a new column. I don't know if you are aware of it or not, but this kind of consolidates the cage codes and creates puts it in a column so you can search by them. It's comma delimited, so those are the same cage codes. So if you were to open like an NSN, these are the approved source cage codes. The approved parts, you'll see the cage codes here. That's gonna be matching. Oh wow, this one had a lot of them. Right, let's try another one that is like this one is these two, right? So it should match with those approved sources. And we had use cases where we wanted to find, solicitations for a given supplier or like multiple suppliers that we like to work with, right? And same thing, and we always talk about finding those best suppliers. We call them unicorn suppliers, right? That will give you, the best prices and the best terms to work with them. And sometimes you want to prioritize their RFQs higher than the usual ones, right? So how would you go about finding the RFQs, or if something comes out, you can quickly check and see if there's any new items for the specific suppliers that you want to work with. So and this new filter kind of simplifies this, because now you could do that and it's pretty easy, right? So let's say, for the sake of the argument, I have another tab open here. I go to my suppliers. Let's say I like to work with this guy, and I will probably just put them in a notepad for now. And I like to work with maybe this guy, right? Since we are here, there's a new feature coming out soon. I'll quickly talk about it, but there's a new column called coding, and this is in your CRM, not the shared data, right? What you will find as you start requesting codes, some of them will not get back to you, or will give you a higher price, or will tell you that they're bidding themselves, and so on. So we created a way for you to mark those off so that you're not sending them code requests. So that's what this column is for. Again, there will be another video for it, because this will be tied into the email automation part. So if you know for a fact that this guy here is not, you don't want to work with them, we don't want to send them code requests, you could just come here, say no skip, or too high, whatever you want to mark. So basically anything other than yes, we're going to skip, okay? But you could technically edit this and add more options if you wanted to, but just keep in mind that yes means yes, anything else we are not gonna send emails. But anyway, we'll have a different tutorial for it, but just know that it's coming. So so far let's select one more. Let's select this guy. Let's see, where did it go? So far we have these 3 suppliers, right, that we like to work with. And let's say we wanted to create a search filter for these 3 suppliers. How would we do that, so that every day we could maybe check and see if there are any new solicitations for those suppliers? So same way, and by the way, we have this simple RFQs tab. It's gonna be shared tab as well, shared filter. That's, I think a lot of people are adding the same filters, so we decided basically to create a shared, simple RFQs. And if you open the filters, you'll see that it's called all the basic filters that usually you might need if you're just starting with divs, like the ISO, setting all this to false, setting the inspection point to destination, and status should be open, and so on. So if you want to save and come here, you can't make a change, but you can always save as. It's gonna retain all those filters, right? Which is what we want. When I say best suppliers, I have another one here, so I'm gonna call it 2, version 2 here. So this will create me a new tab or a search, saved search, right? And I think people always confuse saved, this is called saved searches versus tabs. But we deliberately made it like this way because we want it to function just like a custom application, not really, saved searches like other apps. So every day you kind of working with this list, so it should be really intuitive. That's why we made these tabs, and you can always sort them as well, right? So what we want to do now, open the filters, want to add another filter, but this time we're gonna say approved source cages. This is the column we want to search in. Now in the last video we talked about in. You might ask, what's the difference between in and the contains any? So when you do an in search, if I were to do this, right, or even if I select all of them, put them here, this will not work because this doesn't exact match one at a time, right? If we had a record that had an exact match, in fact, if I try this now, maybe there are some but only have one. Yeah, it did still find them, but if you look at the approved sources, there's only one, so it didn't exact match. As long as one of those matches, it finds it, which is good. You could, if that's the intention, you could do that. But in our case, because some of them have multiple, approved sources, right? We want to do a contains, but not really create million filters, right? You want to see if you could do like this one per line, but do a contain search, right? How would you do that? So we added the new feature called contains any. So this way it's gonna take these and one at a time check to see if the column contains not an exact match, but contains one of this, right? So if I hit apply now, and this might be somewhat of a slower search, usually not, but just keep that in mind because it's doing a contain search. Now it's gonna give me those single ones, but also it's gonna give me any RFQs that had any of the approved sources matching with my best suppliers, right? So as you can see, now it found me those, and I can save this view, right? And then now it's all saved. So next day you come in, it's basically here for you. And there's also one more feature which is not contains any, and just like you probably would have guessed, it works the opposite. Let's say I hate working with the suppliers. I never want to see their RFQs, right? You could do this one. By the way, it works with any other column, right? Not just approved sources. You could do this with NSNs, with FSCs, with whatever else, right? Let's say I'll show you with FSC how it's helpful as well. But I think the most helpful is this example. That's why I want to show you this. So if I do not contains any, just gotta keep in mind we check which ones those were. So basically it's gonna do the opposite and say, you know what, skip any RFQs that have any of those seeds. This is gonna give me this. So this was our list, so none of them should have any of those items in there, right? Cool. So that's kind of a quick rundown on those contains any, not contains any features, filter options for you. And then as I was saying, you could also, some people like if I were to do, if I know my FSC code starts with 624 or contains 624, and like if I go to FSC codes, right, for example, like one common one is probably the guns all start with 10. But just keep in mind it's doing a contain search, right, not a starts with search. So just keep that in mind. But if I wanted to do skip anything that starts with one, or just contains 10, you could do that. And same thing, you might want to change this to FSC and then say not contains any 10. It's gonna probably just kind of skip any FSC codes, or for the sake of simplicity we'll do contains. So we want to see those that maybe have 10 in them, also maybe have and maybe also have 2.8 in them, let's say, for example, right? So this way, if I do this, it's gonna filter down and show me FSC. See, there's like 10 which again, it's a contained search, doesn't have to be starts only, right? But as you can see, it's working. We're just doing a contained search, right? So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Coming up, just be sure to subscribe to our channel. We're doing one more video soon, which is our exciting new feature, which is called Kanban boards or pipeline views, and it's super exciting. Our team has worked for months on this feature, and I think it's gonna help a lot if you want to visually see what's going on with your bids, and kind of keep an eye on it. You come here, create a new Kanban or pipeline view, and we select the bid status we want to say, and then this creates this amazing view. This is a quick overview. Just look for the other video. I'll go deeper into this tutorial, but it's a cool feature. Thanks for watching.